very polite and staying back behind the tape. It's one of those, you don't see this every day kind of scenes, and so people are walking down here and stopping to look.
Paul, by the way, have you before? Is this something that, I mean, it certainly doesn't happen often, but is this something that you, who has been in this business a long time and has been in this area a long time, have you seen this kind of thing happen before?
Oh, sure. I've seen military aircraft, helicopters come down on the beach because it's a nice, safe place to put your helicopter if you do have an engine problem. I have seen small aircraft land on the beach from time to time. Many years ago, a Piper-type airplane came down just north of Mission Beach, I believe it was, and made a stop landing on the sand and wasn't damaged. They had to break it up and truck it out. In this case, they're hoping that they can get this helicopter started back up. Once they determine where the cause of the leak is, they want to try and get out of here, certainly before the tide comes up, because they have very little way of protecting this thing from the tide. The tide line, the helicopter is sitting on a spot of sand where the water was in just a short time ago. The tide is going out right now. And you can see where the high tide line was, where the waves come all the way up, almost to the cliff here in Solana Beach. And so that helicopter would be facing some fairly strong waves if they can't get it off in a hurry.
Paul, MCAS Miramar 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing is giving us some information here and saying that the CH-53E did make that emergency landing there in Solana Beach because of, like we indicated earlier, a low oil pressure indicator light in the aircraft. They also said no injuries, but a hazmat team has been sent to the area. Have you seen any indications of a hazmat crew there yet?
Yes, county hazmat officials have 2 trucks here. They are pulled up in the cul-de-sac in the apartment complex right on the shores above the cliffs. And they're standing by to move in if they have to, if there's something that's spilled. Again, I'm seeing them wiping down the tail of the helicopter, the top and the bottom part of the tail of the helicopter, right underneath the tail boom, and they're wiping that down thoroughly because they obviously believe that the oil leak, wherever it was in that vicinity somewhere. The oil was coming back toward the back of the rear rotor of the helicopter.
Okay, some pretty incredible pictures once again if you're just joining us live from Solana Beach, where a military helicopter was put down there on the beach with a low oil pressure indicator light causing them to decide to put it down in that area. Our colleague Paul Bloom joining us there from Solana Beach. Paul, we certainly appreciate your insight as always when it comes to anything aviation. Your expertise is always appreciated, and appreciate you taking a couple minutes for us. We also want to take a look now at the Twitter account from the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing based out of MCAS Miramar that Erica just referenced a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, they tweeted this photo. This was earlier this morning of a CH-53E chopper performing an aerial refuel in Yuma, Arizona. This was part of training. At this point, it's unclear if this is the same aircraft that went down in Solana Beach. It's very unlikely that it is, but we just wanted to show you sort of an example of how this helicopter is used, and it is used quite a bit by the Marine Corps. And
as you indicated, Erica, this is the largest military helicopter that we have here in the U.S. Has a lot of power, and as one witness indicated there in Solana Beach, you see these things going overhead quite a bit. A lot of folks doing their walks on the beach during this time of the day, middle of the afternoon, late morning, and they decided to pick a spot as best they could where there were few people at the time and put this helicopter down just so that they could get this situation taken care of. But as Paul indicated, they do have to worry about the potential for high tide, because taking off out of sand is one thing, taking off as the water comes up is going to be much more difficult for them.
For sure. It was interesting in some of the ground shots that we were looking at just a few ago with Paul Bloom talking. You could see at least one of the pilots talking to authorities there on the ground. He seemed to be in good spirits. The Marine Corps reporting no injuries, which is definitely fantastic news. And as Jason reported, witnesses nearby say, you see there you see them right there in their flight suits, the gentlemen that we're talking about, the pilots. And these are live pictures of what we're going on right now. They're in Solana Beach. You can see obviously one of the pilots there talking to the authorities and trying to explain what happened happened inside that helicopter earlier today that caused them to have to put it down. This is a heavy lift helicopter. This is certainly a big beast. We're going to continue to monitor developments there in Solana Beach and obviously bring them to you throughout the rest of the newscast.
Worth noting, by the way, these guys are the best that we have, and they picked the spot